Hi guys, welcome to Brandnex Reviews. Now today is the 4th of September 2017. It's tradition at Brandnex Reviews. Any day that a Marvel Cinematic Universe film gets a home video release, I do a review of it. Well, today is a very special day because it's the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.2, and this is the first MCU film to get released on 4K UHD. In the UK anyway. Now, I've talked about it, the MCU Blu-rays on 4K UHD on another video, so if you check back on the channel about 2 weeks ago, I talked about it there more specifically. But this is the first one anyway. And what did I think about this? Well, I've talked about the film itself elsewhere, so let's talk about the quality of this and then talk about some of the extra features. The quality of this was, I have to say, it's one of the best, if not the best, 4K film I've seen. And I've seen about a dozen, and watched it on a decent setup as well, so I can say if you really want to see this film in great quality, you won't be disappointed, to be honest, because certain bits in this really stood out. Because what's great about the 4K format is it's not just a higher resolution, but you've got a whole spectrum of colours that you just don't usually see on any kind of TV screen up till now. So certain bits in this film really did stand out, specifically bits on Ego's planet. Just the colours and the skyline and the way that it just kind of casts a light over everything. It just looks very realistic in comparison to what we're used to seeing really on a TV screen. Also bits with, well, as you can see there, Yondu's arrow that he's got, and it leaves a red trail behind it. Certain bits in the film that really stood out as well. Now this that you're seeing here is actually the Blu-ray disc, the supplemental Blu-ray disc, not the actual 4K disc, because as usual with these 4K films, as you can see here, you get the film on the 4K disc, but you then get the extra features and the film on the Blu-ray disc. So you get basically two copies of the film, one on the 4K disc with no extra features, and then the film on the standard Blu-ray disc with all the extra features that are on the normal Blu-ray if you were to just buy the normal Blu-ray, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can see there anyway, it's kind of laid out. This is what's on the 4K disc, if I can get it without any glare on it, and that is what's on the standard Blu-ray disc. Now the extra features on this, in comparison to the other MCU releases, it's about what you'd expect nowadays. Now, I did a review earlier talking about the Doctor Strange Blu-ray and how the extra features on that were actually a little bit more than we're used to getting nowadays. But this one, it has, let's just say anyway, specifically, it's got a making of, which is in a few parts, but it all adds up to about 35 minutes, which is fine. It's got some interesting stuff on there as well, as they're talking about the music and how when they were making the film, the guy that did the score, was it Tyler Bates, I think he's called, actually recorded some of the score based on just having read the script. They then played the score, or early versions of it, when they were filming the film, so the actors could sort of imagine the kind of scene that's being played when the film plays, the kind of music that's going to play. So it just helps them know what they're actually acting up with. So that was quite interesting to see that. So little things like that anyway. That's what are on the featurettes. So I found that quite interesting anyway. Now there is the Guardians Inferno music video, which is a David Hasselhoff song, which is in the end credits, which is basically the Guardians of the Galaxy theme, the score theme. In fact, I'll show you. I won't play the thing, but I'll show you on here anyway. So under featurettes, if you look at featurettes, you've got that's the making of that I was telling you about. That's about 30 minutes altogether. And then as you go through, you've got the Guardians Inferno music video, which features a lot of the actors from the film as well. It's definitely worth a watch. I think it recently got released on YouTube as well, that music video. So definitely worth a watch. Now, there's a gag reel. I've said in previous videos, I'm not a big fan of gag reels. They're usually about 4 minutes long, which is what this one is. If you like gag reels, you know what to expect. Deleted scenes, there's about 5 minutes worth there, if that. Still interested. And that's it. You've got an audio commentary, which presumably is from James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn. And there is also an intro, which is only on the Blu-ray disc. James Gunn, the director, introduces the film when you press play. It doesn't do that on the 4K disc. That's probably my only gripe. And that's a very, very minor gripe, is that, I mean, if you're that bothered, you can just watch the intro on the Blu-ray disc. it's not. I mean, they've done worse things with 4K discs, to be honest. But that's pretty much my review. The actual thing itself comes in a slip case, which is quite rare for Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I think only some of the Netflix series and Captain America Civil War came in a slip case. All the other ones were just kind of like that, in a standard case. So the case itself is it's got a kind of shiny thing going on there, which you usually get with a lot of these 4K discs as well, because they want to present them. It's the latest thing, and to me, I think it's worth the money. It's a really great format, and I hope to God it takes off, because it's really nice watching these films in 4K. Now, this is the entirety of the MCU that you can get on home video at the moment, not counting obviously the Netflix series that they haven't released yet. You could sort of say that's home video, but it's not, because it's streaming. On physical, you can hold it in your hands, home video. This is the entirety of the MCU. I love days when this collection grows. It really is like, feels like Christmas sometimes. So I've reviewed I've reviewed all of the films, the Blu-rays of the films on Brand X Reviews. I think some of the other Blu-rays I haven't bothered reviewing because there's not much to review, to be honest. The Netflix shows don't seem to have any extra features at all, which I can understand, because maybe they don't want to encourage people buying physical copies. They want people to subscribe to their service. I totally understand that. But what's normally done at Brand X Reviews, I usually get into what else is coming up, so in the MCU down the line. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so it's tradition at Brand X Reviews for me to do a review of each MCU Blu-ray the day of release, usually. But what I usually do as well, so it's tradition also for me to talk about the upcoming films, the sequels, the direct sequels to whatever film it is. So in this case, Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3. But we're not just talking about direct sequels here, because with the MCU, we have a larger cinematic universe, obviously, and everything kind of ties in. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy hasn't really crossed over so far, but it's going to do down the line. So let's look at the future releases and how this might work. So, Thor Ragnarok is the next movie getting released at the cinema now. What you're seeing here is the American release dates, from what I understand. So, depending which country you're in, depends exactly when it's released. But Thor Ragnarok gets released around October, November time, sort of Halloween time, basically. And it's my opinion that the Guardians of the Galaxy are probably going to have a post-credit scene. I'll get into that later as to why I think that. Then after that, we've got Black Panther, which is in February 2018. And then after that, we have Avengers Infinity War, which is definitely going to feature the Guardians of the Galaxy. And we're going to see them on screen with the Avengers, and that is a massive event film, is that. So hopefully it'll be very good. Now, the next film after that is Ant-Man and the Wasp in the July of next year. And then Captain Marvel, which is out on in March 2019. Now, after that, we have the next Avengers movie in the May of 2019. Now, I don't know exactly what the concept of that is. It was originally announced as Avengers Infinity War Part 2, and obviously it's a year apart from the other Avengers Infinity War movie, so you'd imagine there's going to be more connective tissue between those. They've kind of gone back on that, but let's just see anyway, let's see how that works out. It's a bit far down the line. Then after that, we've got the untitled Spider-Man Homecoming sequel in the July 2019. And after that, we've got confirmed there is a Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 movie, but there's no actual announcement for the date of release of that yet. Presumably 2020, because if you look at this, the previous 3 films leading up to that are in 2019. So unless they're going to start releasing 4 films a year, I anticipate Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will be out either in the February of 2020 or the April-May of 2020. So it's kind of a no-brainer, really, in terms, unless they throw something else into the mix. And we're not talking about the Sony movies that they're doing as well, which are technically canon. We've got a Venom movie and also a Black Cat, Silver Sable movie and all sorts of other things that Sony are talking about. A bit strange at the moment, to be honest. So I don't know quite how that's all going to tie together. But speaking of, anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy and why I think there's going to be a possible post-credit scene in Thor Ragnarok at the end of the year. I know from having seen the leaked trailer of Avengers Infinity War that we do see Thor meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy in what looks to be the immediate aftermath of Thor Ragnarok. So that's obviously going to be featured in Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't seen that trailer, there's ways of finding it. It's been on YouTube. People keep uploading it. It keeps getting deleted, but you can find it. I'm assuming it's still out there anyway. But we know that that's how the Avengers, well, the first of the Avengers, the Thor character, meets Guardians of the Galaxy, so I imagine they're going to throw that as a post-credit scene in Thor Ragnarok, which is out in October, November time. But we'll wait and see. I don't know that for sure. It's just kind of an educated guess. But we will see anyway. So I'll leave it there anyway. I hope you got something out of this. Like I say, I'm looking forward to Avengers Infinity War next year. That really is the big one. So as I say, you can find the trailer for that online. Check it out. It's definitely worth a look, even though it's not great quality. But for now, I'll just wrap this up and say this was a great film, but it was also a great 4K presentation. It's the first film from Marvel Studios to get a general release on 4K. I know there's a sort of an exception to that. See a previous video that I did about the MCU on 4K at Brandix Reviews on YouTube. And subscribe to us because there'll be more updates as things develop. You can follow us on social media as well. For now, I'll leave it there and say thank you very much for watching. 2017. Now, it's tradition at Brandix Reviews every day that a BCU,